Snow's garage. Today, I bought a new toy. Well, yesterday. Actually, bought the toy on the weekend and bought an attachment for it today. So let's turn the camera around. I'll show you what I got. This is the new toy. So what this thing is a Kubota 2120. It's not the biggest Kubota. I don't need the biggest Kubota. I don't need a BX model with more power. Just a bigger tractor, right? Which I still need a tractor that's the size of the Toro over there to fit into tight spots cutting lawn on the yard here. But that being said, this guy did a good job. But our problem is that with the big plow truck with the last snowstorm, we were running out of spots to put the snow. So I bought a snow blower for this thing today. Just installing all the lines. I was going to walk everybody through how to install install this onto this. There is some things involved like running the hydraulic lines through, and I'll show you that underneath. So first things first, you had to actually undo the factory line from the lift part for the mower, and you want to drop it all the way down to the bottom to get all the fluid out of the cylinder so it doesn't drip all over the floor. Okay, and then what you do is you attach the new long 70-inch line to here, and then you attach the shorter line to the factory line right here, which then in turn you run through, which they explain it, just it's tight in here. You run it, where did I put it here? Right here. You run these lines up through here, which I'm going to tie wrap. They say to the frame. I'm actually going to bring it up and attach it to the electrical harness right here. That's what I'm going to do here. And then you run it along the top of everything, right beside these metal lines. If I can get a good view of it here, it's kind of hard. Right here, these metal lines that are right here. And then you run it all the way through the hole right here under the oil filter to the front. Okay, so I got the routing done. So this comes around here. This plugs into the snowblower hydraulics up there. Quick connect. And then in here, I have, for going back to the blade, what you do, switch hands here of the camera. You go click, and that's how you get the blade to go up and down. One thing I didn't like, two things actually. One, there's a flywheel right here. I'm gonna strap this over, tie wrap that down onto the hydraulic line there. That'll prevent that ever from touching there. Another thing I'm gonna do is see right here where they make you run it up along the engine. What I wanna do is, actually I've already done it, take some heater hose, split it down the middle, and put some protection around those lines. It's preemptive. It's to prevent any rubbing into the hydraulic lines. And then from under here, let me just go under. You run it, like I said before, through this area here, between the engine block and that's where I'm going to put the heater hose. And then you come and you attach it to this beam here, these two lines, and then up in here, which I can show you now, the two metal lines to keep it off the drive shaft. Okay, and then along the frame, you probably could put another tie wrap here. I did one back here, which is holding everything in the right spot. I can't see anything. I might put a little one right here, just for safety's sakes. And then up through and then around to the cylinder. On the back side of gotta get up here. On the back side above the rear left wheel, you tie wrap it up like this to prevent these lines from rubbing into the up and down on. I'm still not happy with that, which I'm going to adjust. Well, that just floats there, but I still don't want it rubbing against that too much. So that's my main thing on that. After that, we're into attaching the blade. Another thing they made you do is this little chain with a cotter pin. You stick through the frame, you put the safety hook on, is what they call it anyway, so we'll see what that is in a minute. And that's about it. Let me just get up onto the next part and we'll go through that. Okay, so we get the blade on. That was a chore because, let me just close the hood on this. The manual didn't say anything. I'll double check it right now. Didn't say anything about removing a bolt. Let me just see here. And I looked over the manual, and I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Right here above the exhaust, there's one bolt. And that bolt on, I guess, the 2022s on this tractor hold this nifty little exhaust protection. So it protects the muffler or the exhaust tip. And then this bolt sticks out of the frame down here, which then pushed this all forward, which nothing would align and clip in together, which was, I don't know, I spent like 15 minutes, 50 minutes, yeah, probably about 50 minutes messing with this. And then I look at the bolt and I say, that doesn't seem right. Once I did that, it all clicked together nice and smoothly. This clicked in all nicely. The drive shaft went in place properly because you couldn't get the drive shaft in before, the way it was. Yeah, so that was that. I started up, checked the hydraulics. It all works up and down. Have not tried the PTO yet to see if it fires up the blower itself, but that's not a big deal. Next on my list is to put the electric chute on it so I can control electronically instead of with the rolly handle thing. So let's get into that. All right, so we're into electric chute time here. So I just put this bracket on. It's pretty good. I'm gonna clean all this and grease all that. That's on the list of things to do. I unbolt these two bolts, put this bracket on for this side of the machine. And then I'm just gonna show you guys. This electric motor is gonna bolt onto here. And I got some bushings that have to go in there to keep it off like that. And then you bolt it on like so. I don't know, anyway, actually probably upwards would be the best, I think. Like this, upwards. And then I'll control left and right. I did want to get the upper chute, but obviously that's not part of the package for this snowblower. That's okay. Package comes with a pretty basic switch, pretty basic wiring. All you're doing is cut it into the ignition switch, grounding it, and then the switch does its left and right for power. Not too crazy. Here's the schematics on that. Anyways, let me get on to the next thing. All right, so now I have this all bolted on here. I gotta make sure I can get to the set screw, which I can in here behind, which I'm just gonna put that in there. Now I'm just gonna, well, make sure the wrench is going the right way, and then I'm gonna just bolt these on. Oh, I might have the wrong friggin' socket. Let's see here. No, I don't. All right, here we go. One. You can see the other one to be nice. Two. And. All right, I think that's tight enough. Nice and good. Have it upwards. I like the way that looks. The instruction says sideways or something stupid like that. I'm not going to do that. It makes sense because your plug will be on top and you can run the wire down in through here. That's my plan. So I'm going to start wiring it. I don't think you guys want to see me wire 12-volt wiring setup. It's pretty boring. So we'll go from there and see you in the next. Okay, so just finishing up the last of putting the wiring protection on. So my thing I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it through the bottom of the grill here. I think that's a good spot to go for starters. They really didn't tell you where to run it on this one compared to doing the actual blade or the snowblower itself. This will then click into this with a waterproof tight seal, sort of. I don't really like it, so I'll figure that out later. Then you pull that through there so it looks nice and neat. To me, looks like there's some nice, I can tie wrap down here on this bolt hole. Another one here. Doing the vice grip holder here. Just gonna show you guys real quick. Hold this down gently on the switch. See if she works well. Very crude system, left, right. Oh, geez, when I get my thumb on it, there we go. Oh, looks good. Now, one thing I did find, which was really cool, I'm gonna put this up gently. Under here on the dash, right above the headlight switch, which is pretty cool, there's a hole. So I'm thinking I'm going to drill through this nice dashboard and put the switch right there. I think that's the best spot for it. At least it's clean. I don't really want to put it up here. It just wouldn't look right. You could probably get away with it on the side, but again, I think it would look perfect in the front there, right above the headlight switch. So let me go poke around at this and see if I can do this without damaging it too badly. Okay, so I sourced a hole. It's right there. I'm gonna use my step bit. Oh, it's gonna be tough. Tougher than I thought. I believe, was it? I think it was. Which one did I do? No, it has to go to the fourth hole size. So, there we go. That's the best you can do going through a steering wheel. And then I'll put the switch through there and we'll see how she looks. Okay, so I got the switch in. It looks pretty good. Ignition on, left, or sorry, right, and then left. Seems to be working pretty good. I'm happy with that. You know, it's gonna be, well, also, you know, other people might want to use this, so some people, I'll label here left, right, shoot or something like that, and it'll work great. Now on to cleanup. So I'm just going to tie wrap up everything here and make things look great. So here we go. So I just finished the wiring. I did the switch as you saw before in the last little break video. Finished up the wiring. I put it up in here nice and clean. Actually, I put the battery post back on nicely. There we go. I ran it nicely and down along the frame here, nice and clean, up to the motor. Lots of slack, so if whatever goes on, then in the summer I can just tie wrap it, zip tie it back in here. Didn't check to see if the hood closes. It closes, good. Gonna grease up the chute because it's, I wanna clean it and then grease it up because it came pretty dusty in the crate. I did change a bit of the routing for the wiring, or not the wiring, the hydraulic lines. So this line here, I got enough slack. I thought it might be too tight, but no, she's nice and loose. The other one I ran, but they both ran them just underneath the oil filter and down in here. And this one here, there's no way it's gonna touch the flywheel now. Underneath, I didn't change anything else. Last thing on the list is gonna be doing the weights. And if I actually look at the instructions right now, it shows 2 bolts and then slide the weights in with a cotter pin. That's pretty straightforward. So this bolt here, and then the bracket's on, and then you slide the weights in. So I'll do that and then update the next video, and then we're done. Go out and actually use this damn thing. Actually, I haven't tested to see if the PTO and how it sounds. We'll do that in the next video, or in the next break. So that was honestly a 2-second deal. 2 bolts are on, the weights are on the back. She looks good. Next thing to see is how the PTO sounds. Let's fire it up and just, for the hell of it, I'm gonna stink up the shop here for a second, but it won't be too bad. I think the machine doesn't like running. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my WD-40 up there. Like glow warmers. Stink up the shop too much. These old diesel machines. It's not bad. It's clean diesel, but whew, compared to my 4-wheeler, a little more stinky. And people will complain if it gets into the building. So, anyways, this looks good. I like to say thanks for watching the video. The shop's coming along. I'll rotate. You can see behind me here, getting the walls all finished up and cleaned up. It looks really good. But thanks for watching. You know, subscribe if you subscribe, like if you like. I'm just doing this for fun, like I said before in other videos. I think the biggest takeaway from this video was that bolt on the front. That was not in the instructions for the snow blower to say take that bolt off the front of the machine, and that slowed me down about 45 to 50 minutes. You can see it upset me because then I went for dinner, came back, and finished what we have here now. So anyways, thanks for watching, and hope you tune in for the next one.